Folks, welcome back. The scalpers are back. You've seen it all over YouTube. The scalpers. They want to ruin you and your kids' Christmas because they're buying everything up and then selling it back to people at a higher price. Sort of the way that distributors do from Pokemon and then stores do from distributors and sell to you. But it's evil when other people do it. Or what about if one little pinprick and this bubble's going to pop and everything's going to fall down on us and it's all going to go to zero and we're all going to die. Or here's another one. The evil investors are hoarding all the product and they're stacking it all up in all their basements, and that's why there's no product available on the market. Alex, this is truly why we have the problem we do right now in 2024. Guys, listen. I love conspiracy theories. I love watching the Joe Rogan Experience, the Fight Companion episodes when he's got, Eddie Bravo and Brian Callen and Brennan Schwab on there, and they discuss, the moon landing and the government conspiracies, 9/11 or flat earth. I love it. It's fun. It's entertaining. I love the back and forth banter. However, you want to be careful not to let fantasy cross over into reality. You have to keep the two separate. It's great to read fiction books and watch movies and watch all this YouTube content, but just understand there's fantasy and there's reality. And a lot of these YouTubers, they are creating this fantasy world, and it's great. It's entertaining. By the way, keep watching their stuff, right? Give them the credit where credit's due. Give them their views. They put in a lot of effort, right? I probably put in less effort than a lot of them. They got all kind of pop-ups and edits and all kind of crazy stuff. And it's great, right? But just understand, when you're watching all these wild takes out there these days about the evil investors, about scalpers, about the pokey bubble, about all this ridiculous stuff, just understand they don't have a clue what they're talking about. They're all brain dead when it comes to this market and finances and numbers and data. And I'm going to prove it to you today because, as you guys know what we do here, I got the numbers. This is on the back of my math homework from junior year. So, Pokemon puts out this information, right? They said they printed 11.9 billion cards last year. So we're going to round up to 12 billion to be fair. Maybe they print more this year. 11.9 billion is the number though. All right? If they printed cards 365 days a year, right? 12 billion divided by 365, you would have 32,876,712 cards printed every single day. So this notion that Pokemon is just kind of sitting on their hands and, no one's printing cards at their facilities and they should ramp it up more and all this stupid stuff. They're printing over 30 million cards every single day, and that's if they're working 12 days or 7 days a week. If they're only working 5 days a week, that number goes up even more. They're trying, guys. They're trying. Give them a break. Now, if you broke down that number divided by 11, which is 11 cards per pack, they are printing 2.988,792 packs a day. Now, they're not actually printing that many because, let me explain to you something. They print promo cards, which go in tins and collection boxes and other places, right? Pre-release, all that. Okay, so that gets subtracted out. They print build and battle stadiums and ETBs with giant bricks of energies. Those get counted. So every ETB, every build and battle stadium, all those cards are now out. Okay, it's a lot of energies. And then you've got the theme decks, the build and battle or pre-release decks, all those starter decks. All those have cards in them. All of those get deleted out of the cards that go into packs. Realistically, this number is more like, I would say, 2 to 2.5 million actual packs being produced a day. Now, I understand everything's crazy now, and so everything's more expensive, but before the last few months of craziness, streamers like myself used to charge about $4 a pack on their streams, okay? That's what new sets would cost when they were released. So if you took that 2.988 million pack number, multiplied it by $4, you would get $11.955,168. That is the amount of value Pokemon is producing in packs every single day. So, now the question becomes, how much do you think that's getting eaten up every day? We talked about it before. My personal opinion, I think streamers are well over $1 million a day. I would venture up into the probably 5 million plus a day. I think over half of that, if not 3/4 of that, is getting eaten up a day just by streamers. Not even talking about casuals or card shops or anyone else, okay? And again, that number's too high already. It's more like 10 million or less dollars a day because a lot of the other cards, again, are going into ETB and build and battle energies and promos and all the starter decks and theme decks and all that good stuff. So realistically, they're probably producing less than $10 million of value in packs per day, which is basically what streamers are going through. Okay? Now, let me throw some more numbers at you real quick, and then we'll talk a little more. If that 2.988 million packs was divided by 1,000 packs a night, which is what I did, right? Friday night, I'm a real data point. I opened 1,000 packs of Pokemon cards in a single night. It would only take 2,988 people doing the same thing I'm doing, opening 1,000 packs a day, to go through that. That's all it would take. Now, hear me out. That sounds like a lot. I get it. It would only take 29,880 people opening 100 packs a day to go through every single pack they print every single day. 29,800 people, under 30,000 people worldwide, only opening 100 packs? So that's still a lot? Is like 2.5 booster boxes, is that a lot? Okay, no problem. Hold on. 298,000 people only opening 10 packs a day. Do you not think there's 300,000 Pokemon collectors across the world that are not opening an average of 10 packs a day? Just 10 packs. Enough said, guys. The numbers make sense. The maths. These packs are being opened as fast as they are being produced. And anyone telling you otherwise is creating this fantasy world in their head. They live in this dystopian reality that they've created for themselves where, they're broke, so everyone else is out there is broke, and they can't afford the cards and packs they want, so that means everyone else can't, and so they want to get on the internet and create these conspiracies like it's the scalpers' fault, it's all investors hoarding things, Pokemon is creating artificial scarcity on purpose, they're not trying to print enough cards, and the reality is they are printing their ass off. These factories are pumping out millions of cards and millions of packs every single day. We're just opening them just as fast as they can print them. This also refutes the conspiracy that everyone's investing in this stuff. Guys, if streamers are consistently finding enough packs to open and they're only printing that many, but people are opening as many as they are, that refutes the fact that everyone's just hoarding it, because it's not being hoarded, it's being opened. And it's being opened faster than ever. And many of the people who say they're holding 5 to 10 years, they end up selling in 1 or 2 years because things go up 100% and they're like, I should probably realize my gains. I don't want the bubble to pop on me. The bubble's always going to pop, guys. By the way, I've been hearing the bubble's going to pop since XY Evolutions. I've been in this hobby since 2015. It really started to heat up in 2016 with Pokemon Go and Evolutions. And every step throughout the way, the bubble was always going to pop. Now, I'll be honest. During the whole pandemic, like 2021 time, that's probably the biggest downturn we've seen. We've always seen ups, we've always seen downs. That was the biggest downturn. However, it didn't pop everything, right? Things saw decreases, right? Some of the things that had higher run-ups, they saw higher decreases. Some of the things that ran up less, they came down less. But most, at least all modern stuff, is all recovered from those days. And now we're all in a bubble again. Everything's going to crash. The difference this time is the demand is even more than back then. The demand was more artificial then, in my opinion, because of the celebrities, Logan Paul, the other celebrities getting in the hobby, and obviously the whole, free money from the government and everything else going on. So the demand now, in my opinion, again, my opinion here is not facts, but it seems more organic now. And I understand the other side of things. I understand the people who are unhappy, the people who see cards go up in value quickly, the people who see products really expensive out of the gate. I understand it's easy to blame things on market manipulation and buyouts and blame on other people who have money. The truth of the matter is, guys, when you have millions of people all wanting the same thing, right? That is going to move things a lot faster than a few rich people all trying to make strategic moves. That's all that's happening, right? People are coming back in the hobby in groves, right? In groves we haven't seen in 4 years, right? More than we even saw with 151. I don't know what's causing it. It's the Pokemon Pocket app. I don't know if it's the surging sparks and the news going everywhere. Maybe people still coming in from 151 because they see it in the stores. I don't know why the amount of people are entering the hobby. I mean, I have people I went to high school with reaching out to me just finding the hobby now. They didn't find it when I did in Evolutions. They didn't find it during the pandemic. They didn't find it with 151. They found it in the last month or two. Go figure. But all of these new people are coming in. They all have fresh wallets, guys, fresh bankrolls, and they're ready to put it to work. And guess what? They are ready to buy at the current market prices. And so I had this hilarious comment in one of my videos, and the guy said something along the lines of, I would never pay more than retail price for these products. I don't understand how people are paying more for these boxes. Who's paying, $200 for a Lost Origin box? These people are they're getting lost in the craze, right? It's all a Ponzi scheme. And so my response to that is, have you been in the hobby since day one? Did you never leave the hobby? Because that's the only way you would have been able to buy everything at retail price, right? Even myself, I got back in the hobby in middle-ish of XY. Meaning, if XY base or Flashfire were already more expensive than when I got in, I couldn't buy those. Couldn't buy them. Gotta leave them. Why don't you buy them? They're only like $50 more. Can't buy them if they're not at retail. It already ran up. I'm already getting pumped and dumped. I don't want to put money into that. And people have this hilarious mentality that people getting in the hobby right now, just because these boxes were cheaper at one point, they shouldn't be buying them. It's like, what do you want them to do? They didn't know about the hobby a year, 2 years, 3 years ago. They just got in. That means if they want a box of Brilliant Stars, it's $190, $200. You can't say, well, you should have. Captain Hindsight's here. Hey, Captain Hindsight, what should we do? You should go back 2 years ago and pay $100 for that box. Right? You can't do that. It's mind-blowing the stupidity I see running rampant around this hobby. And some of these channels out there, like shame on them, some of these channels have been around as long as I have. Some of them have been around longer than I have. And they still put out this ridiculous content. And again, maybe it's for entertainment. Maybe they're just trying to get views and get engagement in the comment section. And they're playing the YouTube game. And if they are, hey, bravo. Congrats to you. I hope your channel does well. I hope you make good ad revenue. And it's all fine and good. But the people getting wrapped up in their nonsense and blurring that line between fantasy and reality, I feel for you people, because you're going to continue to miss out on this market. It's going to continue to run away without you. And every step of the way, you're going to hear market manipulation, buyouts, scalpers, investors, all this ridiculous stuff, right? And the truth of the matter is, the new people are the ones that get hurt the worst, because if they stay around long enough and they go through this cycle a couple times, you'll realize people say the same damn thing every set. People say the same damn thing. Guys, this is Groundhog's Day. This hobby is Groundhog's Day. Every single card that makes a move, it's always met with buyout, market manipulation. Every single sealed product that goes up in value, it's met with, it's the evil investor's fault. Pokemon's creating artificial scarcity, not trying to print this stuff enough. It is never, no one ever says, looks like organic demand. Looks like things are finally aging. It's always, it's all a Ponzi scheme. It's all pump and dump, all this ridiculous stuff. Guys, what is more likely? I always say this, right? Put your mind through this stress test. What is more likely? That there's a few big, pocketbooks here, all manipulating certain cards up and down, or the biggest media franchise in their entire world is putting forth millions of dollars in marketing every single year. They're pushing out new shows, new games, new cards. They have YouTubers they sponsor to open the product and push it out to millions of people. And they're creating enough artificial demand so that millions of people around the world all want the same things, and there's not enough of those things to go around, and therefore supply and demand kicks in, and there's not enough supply for the amount of demand, so the price has to go up. What is more likely, that scenario, or the scenario that there's like a few evil, whales out there, they're all trying to manipulate things and make you pay more for things? Do you see how stupid it sounds when you say it out loud, right? It's like me. People will share things to me and say, Alex, look, you made this video about the Charizard V alt art. This is a real thing. Someone shared this. They showed the Charizard V alt art from Brilliant Stars, and they circled the date on the chart, the TCG Player chart, and showed how the charts went up in the last week or so. And then they shared a video I made, and they circled the date on the video, and they said, look, Alex, you clearly manipulated this card. And it's just like, what's funny about that? I've been in this hobby for 9 years now. No one gave a crap about my opinion for 8 of them, right? It's only in the last year the channel's really started to grow and people have watched me. How then have I been right about all the predictions and all the plays I've made for the past 8 years and become so successful in this hobby? And now in the last year or so, people are starting to watch the channel, and they're, starting to maybe see things my way and think similar ways. And then, I get another play right. I got lucky again, guys. I always get lucky. And so now it's all of a sudden Alex is manipulating the market. What about 2 years ago when I was getting plays right? Why wasn't I manipulating that market? What about when I bought 10 cases of Evolutions and then it went from $80 to $1,000? Well, I obviously didn't manipulate that. I didn't have a freaking YouTube channel back then. And so, guys, get out of your own way, right? Go watch all the crazy nonsense out there on YouTube and be entertained, right? That's why we watch trash TV. That's why we watch reality TV, and, we tune into all these stupid political pundits giving their stupid reasons on why the country's all going to fall apart under which president. And stop engrossing yourself in the news cycle and step out of it once in a while and say, okay, let's think logically. Let's approach this pragmatically. Let's do the numbers. Let's do the data. Let's look around at all the different scenarios of why things are happening and make an educated guess, an educated decision on what you're going to do with your money in this hobby based on that. Because if not, you're going to get wrapped up in the negative news, which obviously the negative stuff gets pushed. I can prove it. I can show you all my negative videos with the negative thumbnails and the negative titles. They all get more views than my positive ones. It's just the way it is, go figure. But people keep pushing out this negative, context out there, and they're getting the views and everyone's watching them. And people are going to be so upset in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years when no bubble pops. Everything doesn't get destroyed by reprints. Everything's higher than it was today. And they're going to realize they've been bamboozled. They've been tricked. They've been lied to. And they're going to be upset. Some of those people will leave the hobby. Some stick around and just try to start picking up the pieces of everything they missed out on. And it's sad. It's sad because, during the time, everyone's going to point to people like me and say, Alex, you're causing FOMO. Alex, you're making misinformation. You're just trying to pump up your own investments. And then what happens is everything will continue to pump, and they'll say, well, Alex was successful. He pumped his own stuff. He got enough people on the pump and dump train. Choo-choo! When in reality, I was just doing the numbers. I was just looking at the data and saying, hey, this makes sense. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. Subscribe to the channel if you're not yet. Be back here in a new one soon. I'm out.